up, Bankz Squad? ToniiBankz here, back at it again with another video. Hopefully everybody is having a great day today. The gameplay that you guys are going to be watching in the background is a hardpoint match here on, I believe, St.Petrograd, using a different class setup today. I'm using the M4 as my primary, overkilling it with the model 680, that's what it's called, the model 680. And I've been trying some different things when it comes to classes in this game, just because I'm not having as much fun as I used to, but I'm gonna save that for a different video because I've been thinking about this one specific thing for a while, and I've talked about it in a video before, and I think it is finally time for that video to come out for me to talk about it. So within the next couple of days or the next week, I will have a video out talking about exactly what is going on in my mind about this game and me not having any more fun with it for this one specific thing. But that's not what we're going to talk about in today's video. Today's video, as you guys can see by the title and thumbnail of today's video, we're going to be talking about the next Call of Duty being free. Now, I think this could be a good idea. We have tons of games that have tried this model that are successful. For example, CSGO. CSGO, I think you might have had to pay for that, but League of Legends is free. There's a couple other games out there that are free that I can't think of on the top of my head that are also super successful. And I feel like Call of Duty does want to head into this direction, or I should say Activision wants to head into this direction. They just don't know exactly how they want to do it. And I feel like they're testing the waters when it comes to this. They've done it twice, in my personal opinion. They tried it with COD Mobile, which was free for everybody to play. COD Mobile was a very successful game. I'm not 100% sure if it's still, doing the same numbers that it did when it first came out, but when it did first come out, it was a very successful game. Even people that usually don't like Call of Duty or wanted to try something new were downloading that game just because it's free. It's something new. Let's try it. It's free. You can't really lose anything when downloading a free game. You're not losing money. If anything, the only thing that you're losing is time, but you wouldn't have known until you actually downloaded that game and played it. Same thing with Warzone. Warzone did not ship with Modern Warfare, but it was a little side package of Modern Warfare that came out, I believe, did it come out here in Season 3 or did it come out in Season 2? I think it was like the end of Season 2, beginning of Season 3, if I'm not mistaken. But they tried it out, and Warzone is very successful. It was successful when it first came out, and it is still going strong right now while we're in mid-Season 3. I believe we have 32 days left for the season, and it is still doing good. I do not know the exact number for Warzone, but I think it was like anywhere between 50 million, I believe, for the first week, maybe first day. I'm not 100% sure. I did see the number 50 million, but I did not know if it was that was like from the first day or if that was from the first week. Obviously, that's not concurrent players. That's not that amount of players playing at one time. That's just how many different unique players have played the game. But I feel like that was their two little testing grounds to see how Modern Warfare, or how, Call of Duty would go if they went the model of it being free. Now, I feel like there are some pros and cons when it does come to this. One of the things being hackers, especially we have seen this when it comes to Warzone. It's kind of, dumbed down a little bit, but you still get your hacker here or there. Activision has banned over, I believe, 70,000 accounts from, people who are hacking. And I believe the way that they're going about it is, instead of them completely banning them, I believe they're just putting them in their own section. I believe they just want to observe how the hackers are doing their things. So instead of throwing them into a regular Warzone match, they're throwing them in with other hackers. So that's unique. It's awesome to see them doing something like that, just so they can observe the way these characters are playing and the things that they're doing to be able to cheat the system and be able to hack the way they're going. Alrighty guys, we are back. I had to end the recording. I basically drew a blank in the middle of it, but going back to the pros and cons of having your game free, I feel like a lot of pros come out of it in the sense that I'm thinking, just because when it comes to a game being free, I feel like people tend to spend more money on microtransactions just because they see that they got the game for free. So outputting some money really isn't such a big, a big deal for them. Let's go back to some of the older Call of Duties that I personally have, shelved out money for microtransactions. Now, when it comes to this, I see this as a pro. for the people who are making the game, you know, for example, or i.e., you know, Activision, and also for the people, or I should say the consumers, the people who are playing the game, because Activision could, you know, get a little bit more income when it does come to microtransactions, and if the people who are playing it are enjoying the game the way that they're enjoying it, they don't mind shelling out that money, which means they're having more fun with the things that they are getting for the game. So I feel like it's a good idea for them to do that. Like I said, if we go back to some of the older Call of Duties that I myself have personally spent extra money beyond the game itself, the shelf or the top price itself for the game, which is $60. If we look back at on Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2 was probably our first game where we started to put out microtransactions, and I loved and enjoyed that game so much that I did not mind putting out extra money to be able to get microtransactions in that game. But at the same time, the microtransactions were good. I enjoyed all of them. I liked the camos, the different things that we received from those. I did not mind putting that money out just because the game A was good and I was having fun with it, and B, the microtransactions were something that was good, and I didn't mind putting something out that is going to be good and it's gonna not necessarily make the game better, but make me enjoy the game a little bit more. Also, Call of Duty Ghosts was another game that I enjoyed a lot, and there were a lot of microtransactions in that one, I believe more than Black Ops 2, and it was the same thing. I enjoyed the game a lot, and I was having fun with it, and the microtransactions were good, so I went and put out the extra money for that. Same thing for Advanced Warfare. That's probably the last Call of Duty, that one, and or Black Ops 3 that I put out the extra money for microtransactions, because those two games I had so much fun with. So I feel like if they're going to put out the model of going with a free game, they need to try to make this game as fun as possible. A lot of people are enjoying Warzone, but there are little things that, you know, that people aren't liking. You know, one of the things being, you know, the people hacking. Right now, the biggest issue is the akimbo, one of the akimbo pistols, I believe it's called like Snake Shot or something like that. That one is a big problem. So when it comes to, you know, fixing things, maybe they need to fix things a little bit more. But for the most part, a lot of people are really enjoying Warzone, and they're still enjoying it. So I feel like Activision needs to go back and look at other games that are successful when it does come to that free-to-play aspect. Fortnite is another game that is free-to-play that is very successful. It seems like they are starting to hit that down point of their lifespan, but it looks like they are doing little things to try to get back up there. I'm not 100% sure if they will get back to the point that they were, but I do feel like Fortnite does have a chance to get back to a little bit more of a successful point than they are right now. And Activision or Call of Duty, they are big people. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They are big when it comes to copying other games, and I feel like if they are going to go to a free-to-play version or a free-to-play model for Call of Duty, I feel like that they need to go and look at those games and kind of nitpick the certain things that made those different games successful and try to add it to their game if they are going to do that. Now, when it comes to that, it's a lot, because if the game that is free is good, and they decide to, you know, for the next year put out a Call of Duty that is going to be the full $60 again, I feel like it needs to be a good, successful Call of Duty, because if you are going to go with this model of putting out a Call of Duty at $60 for this whole entire time, and then go and release a Call of Duty for free and then go back to the $60, I feel like you are going to lose a lot of people if that game isn't good, whether that is them buying the game and then, you know, they're just not playing anymore, or them just not, you know, buying the game in general, which leads to them not playing the game at all. So there's pros and cons to everything with going with this model. Like I said, in my personal opinion, I feel like they do want to try this one way or another, and I feel like they will. It might not be this next Call of Duty, but I feel like in the future they will try something of this sort just to see how it will go for them, just to see if they are going to make a little bit more money on microtransactions. For a while, that has been their biggest thing that they've been trying to push, is microtransactions. In Modern Warfare, there's a lot of microtransactions, but in my opinion, I wouldn't spend that extra money for these transactions, just because I do not enjoy Modern Warfare like I enjoyed some of these other games. So when it comes to that, even if the next Call of Duty is free, needs to be a good free game, so people will put out that extra money for the things that they want to make some money on. Because ideally, the biggest thing when releasing a free game is, are you going to either break even on the game that you released, or at least break even, or are you gonna go over and make some money from this game? And that is the most scariest part when it does come to releasing a free game. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why Activision and Call of Duty hasn't taken that next step to be able to make Call of Duty 100% free. But I like the way that they're going about it here with Modern Warfare, just because, Modern Warfare wasn't free, but you don't have to pay for a season pass like you did in prior Call of Duties. And that's another reason why it leads me to believe that they are trying to head into this direction of things being free. They're just testing the waters little by little, and I love the way that they're doing it in this game. The season pass is free. Some things are locked behind the paywall, which are the battle pass. But, I don't mind paying for the battle pass, because for the free stuff that I am getting, I am enjoying it. Overall, Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, but Modern Warfare is a fun game. It's not one of my favorites, but it still is a fun game. So I don't mind spending that extra money for the battle pass when I'm getting a lot of the stuff free. So there's different ways that they can go about everything, and I would love to see how they are going to go about these different things. But if you guys enjoyed today's video and want to see more videos like this, or want to see Call of Duty go to a free to play model, let me know by smashing that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and while you are there, make sure to press the bell button right next to the subscribe button to be notified every single time I do upload a new video. I'm ToniiBankz, and I'll see you wonderful subscribers in the next one. Peace out and enjoy the rest of the gameplay.